Hey, look, man, we all go through our go through. Everybody got their ups and downs. Every man has their flaws, but there's a difference between a man who is imperfect and a man who's not worth it. There's no such thing as a soulmate who crushes your soul. Somebody who destroys your mental health cannot be the one that God has sent for you. He's not going to send anybody that's going to destroy you, that's going to damage you, and then call it love. I don't care if y'all do eventually get married. I don't care if he does pop the question at some point. You shouldn't have to limp down the aisle. I sorry if this offends you. I hope I'm not stepping on too many toes, but I'd much rather step on your toes and you'd have to walk over the broken pieces of your heart because you gave it to somebody and you kept giving it to somebody who showed you they didn't know how to handle it. It really saddens me when I'm looking at these messages, looking at these emails, and y'all are trying to navigate through some situations and get through this and conflict, resolve that. You can resolve conflict. You can't resolve bad character. This man got you deteriorating right before his very eyes, and he don't even care. You cry yourself to sleep way more often than you get good sleep. You look at the last 3-6 months of your life and you so off path, you so off track from what it is you had planned whenever you first came into that man's life. You look at the relationships around you and now you ashamed to even bring forth the things that you got going on to your friends, to your family, because they already done told you a million times. And maybe this ain't your story right now. Maybe you've been there before. Maybe you've been there before. But I need you to have a full understanding of exactly how this looks so you don't go there again. But for the woman, there's somebody listening to this right now. I need you to understand something. Yes, men have flaws. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Your mama, your daddy, ain't nobody perfect. Everybody got something going on. But if your mental health is being destroyed the longer that you stay in a relationship, that ain't the one. You can do bad all by yourself. And you can do a whole lot better than somebody who's destroying your mental health. You can do a whole lot better than somebody who's taking away your ability to smile. Than somebody who's dimming your light. Somebody who's derailing your opportunities every time they get an opportunity, every time they get a chance to. Somebody who's jealous of you and your success. And they're trying to find ways of sabotage. Somebody who wants to trap you. Don't think that the only people trapping out here are the quote unquote baby mamas that everybody like to talk about. No, there's dudes out here who will trap you too. And that's when it really gets tricky. Now they'll trap you using the baby. They'll trap you in all kind of ways. Y'all think hooking only happens when it comes to the dating phase and there's a lot of grand gestures and stuff like that? No, a dude will trap you other ways. But I'm here to tell you, just because you got that man's baby or had his baby or whatever, that don't mean that your life belongs to him. That don't mean you can't have an identity outside of him. And if you at the crossroad and you're not sure what to do and you thinking, well, maybe we can just work through this and that, no. You can't work through anything with somebody who's not putting in any work to make it better. Am I making sense to anybody? Because I know it's going to be a group that needs to hear this and maybe you might get a little quiet. I'm looking at the messages again. I want y'all to be able to discern when it's something that you guys can talk about, again, work through, etc. But you got to stop romanticizing the person who made you question your own sanity. You got to stop calling toxic love deep connection. Just because the lows were devastating and the highs, they felt like salvation. Like that, a lot of times y'all thinking that, well, we have a good relationship because you got good moments, good flickers. But in between is you going out your mind, like you losing your mind. You not knowing like your livelihood. He getting ready to put you out every second he threatening you and stuff like that. He got you scared. Y'all let me know. Am I making sense to anybody? Put facts from speaking facts. And no, this does not apply to all men. Let me be very clear. Alpha males don't need to destroy you to love you. Alpha males don't need to break you down in order to try to build you up. Alpha males don't need to come into a space in your heart that's already broken or some type of void he can identify in order to feel sufficient. Meanwhile, all he's doing is making that wound even deeper. Alpha males don't need to do that. There are guys who will do these things to you. Alpha males come in to love you in all the ways that you're still healing. Alpha males come in and they're not scared of your baggage so long as you're not projecting it on them. But they'll come in and say, let's unpack this together. Let's walk this journey together. I was already going to elevate you anyway. A part of your elevation is your healing. Let's do it together. There are men out here who get it. Let me be very, very clear. And that's all the more reason why you don't need to be hung up on somebody who's only making your situation worse. You already got enough to deal with. You already got enough mental health issues and stresses and people putting pressure on you and people that don't appreciate you, and you're getting overworked and underpaid probably at that job. You don't need no relationship adding to that, sis. You don't need more. That emotional roller coaster that you on, that's not passion, that's trauma. The man that's got you walking on eggshells and second guessing your reality and apologizing for just existing, that is not your soulmate. That is your emotional kryptonite. That is the enemy of your highest potential. Your actual soulmate, a real alpha male, he's not going to require you to sacrifice your mental wellness on the altar of his comfort. Now, as true as that is, and as much as you may be a good woman deserving of an alpha male, you also have to know how to position yourself for said alpha male. They don't just come to you because you're a good woman, if you haven't noticed yet. That I hate to say it like that. That's like saying, if you're just a hard worker, the best opportunities in the world are just going to come. No, you got to get in position. You got to submit the application, or you got to be in position. You got to be in the networks. There's certain things you got to do, even when it comes to relationships, to get in line. And I don't mean literally in line. I mean to get in alignment with the man who is meant for you. Now, if you do this right, they'll be lining up for you. If you use the strategies, the right ones, and I gave those out for free in my masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only. If you use the right strategies, alpha males will be lining up for you. Alpha males. I'm not talking about these dudes who are toxic and hurt you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about dudes who have actually worked on themselves. I put that link down in the comments, by the way, but just comment the word secrets. I'll send you the strategies for free. You ain't got to guess. You ain't got to trial and error no more with your heart. You can literally use the exact same strategies that have already helped 14,000 plus women attract their alpha male for free. Comment the word secrets. I'll send it to you. But again, it's really about developing that understanding of when is it just, some stuff you got to get through, man. You got to go through your go through. And when is this something that you need to completely let go of? First off, understand something. Your soulmate is going to create peace, not chaos, even in disagreement. That's one way that you know that you're dealing with your soulmate. If he creates peace, even when y'all are not on the best terms, if he keeps things from escalating, from getting worse, you may be a part of the toxic equation in this situation, but he's not going to make it worse. He's not going to out toxic you just to prove a point. True connection brings calm to your nervous system, not constant activation. If you are in fight or flight mode 90% of the time in that relationship, despite your best efforts to talk things out, understand, listen, create a safe space, all these different things, that is not your soulmate. If it's genuine, if the love is real, it's going to feel like coming home, not preparing for battle every single day. Some of y'all have been there before. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Put facts if you ever been in a relationship where it didn't feel like home, dealing with this man, living with this man, communicating with this man. It felt like every single day was a battle. Now, when you're with the right man, conflict is still going to happen from time to time, but they don't need you to go to fight or flight mode. They don't need you to do that for days at a time after the situation is already come and gone. They don't need you to always have a one eye open, always looking over your shoulder. They don't need you to do that. You don't lie awake replaying the situations, the conversations, analyzing every single tone change, or mentally preparing for the next emotional minefield. You don't do that whenever you're dealing with a man who truly loves you. Real soulmate energy allows your nervous system to regulate, even whenever y'all are not in the best place, even during difficult discussions, because the foundation of it is secure. This is real. Not only is it not going anywhere, this doesn't come to destroy me or hurt me. This man still comes to love me even in the uncomfortable seasons. I'm not in harm's way. This is not a threat, even if he's making me uncomfortable. Now, I need to be very, very clear here, because even an alpha male, a man who truly loves you, is going to make you uncomfortable. Why? Because growth requires discomfort. But discomfort and damage are two completely different things. If he's making you less of yourself, if he's making you feel like you shouldn't want as much as you want, or you shouldn't strive for as much as you strive for, if he makes you feel like there's nothing that you do that's even worth a dang, if he got you looking at those who are closest to you and love you the most and turning against them, that is not your soulmate. He's trying to weaken you. He is trying to destroy your mental health by destroying some of the pillars that have kept your mental health this strong for this long. That is not your soulmate. And I know a lot of y'all out there, y'all are lover girls, and you are an empath, and you will sacrifice and you will fight. But let me say this. Your mental health shouldn't be the price of admission for any man's love. Your peace, it shouldn't be the price you have to pay. Effort, sure. Some time, yeah. Some patience, okay, cool. But your mental health shouldn't be the admission ticket. Well-being isn't negotiable. Not as a currency for relationship access. Your sanity isn't a sacrifice that proves that you're truly committed. If you find yourself choosing between your mental stability and keeping that man happy, that's not love. That's asking for a sacrifice. That's manipulation. That's demanding you surrender. I don't care. Like, oh, this is what marriage is. This is what a relationship is. This is what real love is. And then pointing to healthy examples and saying, yeah, see, that's just fake. That's just on the outside looking. No. Chemistry isn't connection if it comes with emotional destruction. Chemistry is not connection if it destroys you, if it destroys your ability to trust. We ain't talking about some trust that needs some rebuilding. Y'all got some work to do, some conversations to have. But if you literally find yourself unable to trust anything that this man is saying, your mental health is already taking the beating. I'm talking about the smallest things. And then if it starts spilling over to other things, other people, other friendships you want to have. If you can't watch a movie without, getting triggered. If you find yourself not able to watch a movie, if you find yourself not able to trust your own decision making, if you second guess everything, that means at a foundational level, your mental health is taking a beating. Just to make up, and you think it's all good because y'all had sex or he got you this nice gift. Look, intensity without safety, that's not depth. That's danger. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the right man, the right person, period, this goes for men and women, is not going to require you to lose yourself in order to love them. Give up your interests, give up your dreams, give up all the paths that you're already on. Feel bad or second guess the things that are important to you. Authentic connection, it enhances your identity. It doesn't erode it. Again, we're not talking about somebody who's perfect. We're not talking about somebody who never makes a mistake, never has to apologize. None of that. Even an alpha male is going to make mistakes, but guess what? He's also going to be accountable. He's also going to concede. He's not going to try to shape shift you or form you into something that's palatable for him. He's going to recognize the ways that you show up authentically and figure out, does this work for me or does it? Does it not work for me? He's not going to sit there and try to criticize and belittle or insult or guilt trip you out of your authenticity. If you were a dude and you can't even be yourself, if you were somebody and you can't even speak up when something is wrong, that's not the one. If you become unrecognizable to yourself, quieter, more anxious, constantly, self-monitoring and apologizing just for existing, for natural reactions, That's not growth. That's compromise at your core. That's your authentic self going into hiding just to survive an unsafe emotional environment. That is not your soulmate. And again, if he is truly an alpha male, he's not going to be threatened by all the ways that, you are you in a way that don't serve him or doesn't benefit him, or maybe he don't initially even get. There are some songs you're going to want to listen to, some places you're going to want to go, some activities you're going to want to go. And they may challenge certain preconceived notions about what he feels like is acceptable or what he think is cool or what he don't want to take part in. So what? An alpha male is going to say, okay, cool. Long as it's not a threat, long as it's not a disrespect, I'm cool with it. I'll make space for it and be genuinely interested. And yes, those men do exist. Please do not get jaded by these little boys that don't get it. Real men, alpha males do exist. Again, I gave you the roadmap. So if you like, oh, well, where are these alpha males at? If you still don't know. The only reason why you don't know is because you have not yet tapped into the strategies to attracting alpha males. That's the only reason why. And I gave those out for free. In my masterclass, Secrets to Attracting Alpha Males Only, I gave them out for free. Again, if you have not yet and you want to get those strategies so you can stop this hamster wheel of dealing with guys who don't deserve you, comment the word secrets. Comment the word secrets. I'll send it to you for free. Or you click the link that's down there in the comments. But again, somebody who destroys your mental health. And this literally goes for anybody. This goes for male. This goes for female. This goes for family members. But I'm really talking about those of y'all in relationships now and you loving somebody to a fault. You don't put yourself on the back burner. You're keeping yourself on the back burner. You're becoming their rug. You're becoming their doormat. If they destroy your mental health, that's not your soulmate. The person that's meant for you, he's not going to cost you your sanity. He's going to contribute to your serenity. Stop confusing intensity with intimacy. Stop confusing chaos with chemistry. Stop confusing trauma bonds with soul connections. Your actual soulmate is going to feel like peace with the passion. Not like a constant war with intermittent moments of ceasefire. I don't know who need to hear this. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's somebody on your timeline. So if anything that I said was true, if you know anything that I said to be true, if you agree with me, literally with any part of this, find a little arrow down here and hit the share button so you can bless somebody else. Don't be selfish. You might just save somebody's life. But I'm your internet big bro. You know I got your back. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, if you want more on this, if you want more in depth on the topic of attracting alpha males only, comment the word secrets or just click that link that you see pinned down here in the bottom. And it'll give you access to my hour-long masterclass where I really went in depth on how you can position yourself for a true alpha male who has done the work. You don't have to keep dealing with people in this dating pool in the part that got piss in it. If you're a growth-oriented woman, it's time for you to get what you deserve. Comment the word secrets. I'll send you a free link so you can access the strategies to attracting your alpha male. Y'all be good.